Hey climbers, all right, we're back here. This piece of equipment we're going to be inspecting is a Y lanyard, shock absorbing lanyard. Now there is several different types of lanyards out there. We're not going to go into detail about it, but just so you see, this one is a Y, performance in a Y, okay? Just like any other equipment, the first thing we want to do is we want to go straight to our tag. We want to look at our tag and make sure that everything on the tag is legible, that you can see everything and that we're within the parameters, 130 to 310 pounds. This is a 6-foot free fall, which is a factor 1 lanyard, 900 pounds, and that everything is legible, okay? Once we've got that done, we're gonna do the same functions on everything, which is the visual, tactile, and function of everything. First thing we're gonna do is a visual. On a visual, just like any piece of equipment, you're gonna inspect, make sure there's no debris, there's no fracks, cracks, or deformities. You're gonna look down the spine of it, make sure that it's not bent, anything of the sort. And while we're at this one here, you're gonna check on the inside, make sure there's no burrs or anything of the sort, cracks. You're gonna check where the rubber meets the road on the inside of the lanyard, make sure there's no excessive abrasions, anything of the sort, that it's okay. And while we're up here, we're gonna go ahead and go with the function of that one. First, you wanna check to make sure that the gate's not gonna open without having that release pushed. And everything should be done nice and slow so you can see it and make sure that everything's operating, okay? We're going to check that. We're going to move down and continue on our visual. We're going to look at the stitch block. Notice the stitch block have contrasting colors from a blue to a yellow, so you can really spot it out. Any kind of phrase, which this is just where they terminate the stitch, so that's okay. You're going to keep coming down. You're going to check everything. And while you're doing it, you're rubbing your hands on it, and making sure you don't feel anything on that. And there's no cuts on there. You're going to come down and make sure that the load impact, okay, if this had been loaded, if somebody fallen into it, this would have been out, and also the shock pack would have been deployed. That's not the case on here. This is a good one. You get down to where this ring's at, we're going to check the stitching as well. We're going to move everything around and try to get as much visual on everything we can. You're not going to be able to see every single part of it, but you're going to try to look at everything you can. Moving down to the stitch blocks. Same deal with the stitch blocks. Make sure there's no kind of phrase in it. Everything is stitched right. It's not coming off to the side. I'm looking at the sides of it. We're going to do this side here. I'm going to come down and just keep following it down, rubbing my hands on it, making sure I don't see anything. A little bit of fray here and there is okay as long as it's not cut into it. Remember, this outer piece of it is just a protecting sheath for it. We're going to come down here on this particular lanyard to tie back. Since we have that, we want to check again where the rubber meets the road, making sure anything is not frayed underneath of it. No cracks and deformities in any of these rings. Okay, we're going to continue on down to our pelican hook. We come to a stitch block, same deal. We're going to check the stitch block, make sure everything is good. There's no fraying on it excessively. Everything looks good. We're going to check on the sides all the way down it. We're going to get up here again to where the rubber meets the road. We're going to look on the inside, make sure there's no abrasions on it, nothing's frayed out. There's no cracks or deformities in the actual connection point of our pelican hook here. Excuse me, this is a rebar hook. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to come up, we're going to check the spine, make sure it's not curved or cracked. Look all around it, run our hand on it, make sure there's no deformities, nothing sticking out, any burrs or fray that could actually cut our lanyard, our harnesses or anything of the sort. Another function check. We're going to check, make sure that the gate's not opening, and then it opens again when we engage the safety on it. Nice and slow again. We're going to do that same thing on the other side of the Y lanyard. Okay? Stay 100% out there.